Do you believe that you can heal yourself? Too often we give our power away to something outside of ourselves, and rarely, if ever, trust and tap into our innate healing power and intuition. Everyone has this capability to heal in ways we never thought possible. It's your sovereign right to claim and have true health and lasting wellness. Now, here is the host of the Dr. Dolores Show, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. Do you believe that you can heal yourself? Too often we give our power away to something outside of ourselves, and rarely, if ever, trust and tap into our innate healing power and intuition. Everyone has this capability to heal in ways we never thought possible. It's your sovereign right to claim and have true health and lasting wellness. Now, here is the host of the Dr. Dolores Show, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in our amazing universe. And it is amazing. Remember that. You're listening to another episode on the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we are talking about change. There's been a lot of change in our world right now, and we've been doing several weeks of different themes and variations of change. And this week we're talking about transitioning worlds, navigating change with grace. Let's face it, the only constant in the world right now is change, and there is a lot of it. And, my question to you guys is how do you show up when you have to do change in your world? Are you embracing it or are you just really stuck in with your heels dug in and resisting it? That's something to wonder because it's about taking a self inventory of where you are and how you show up. Change could be really a daunting thing because it's leaving the it's leaving what we know to something going into a direction where we don't have a roadmap, maybe, or any idea what's going on, but yet uh, the circumstances are creating those situations for us that are causing us to have to go through some process of change. And, for those of us who are living in the United States, we are witnessing massive amounts of this. It's like the ripple effect. One thing happens and it affects not just one group of people, it affects everybody. So it's a real great analogy when you look at um, any type of change. And I'm just going to take this for an example is that everything that is ourselves or even in the world is like little pebbles that contributes to the collective pond of everything that's ever existed. So right now we're seeing a lot of pebbles being dropped by the government and to collective consciousness, and it is rippling out and affecting everybody, just like a pebble drops into a pond of water and it ripples out and affects the whole pond. So that we're witnessing this right now. So this is just a validation that, you know, we are affected by everything in our environment. Okay. We cannot be affected because we are it just because of that whole collective consciousness aspect of it. So, I feel that there is a lot of unrest right now. Um, Yet, the transitions that are happening, they're, inclusive of personal, professional, and even spiritual, because maybe you're even wondering why this is happening. And, it's really leading you or allowing you to lean into a bigger picture of what's possibly going on and also reacquainting yourself with that aspect of yourself that is your spiritual nature. So, this is all good in the big scheme of things, not so much when you're initially going through it because you're like, you want to almost have a bloody pity party. It's just like, why does this keep happening to me? Or, this just sucks. And yeah, Initially, it does, yet when you're able to lean back and look at the bigger picture and come from a place of observation, this is where you get to see the wisdom that is there. And there's a lot of things that are dissolving right now in our world. And with that are old patterns. Okay. So it's not about having to relive really painful things. If, we have done our work as far as working through our personal stuff, it's like, and there's any residue left, this, we're witnessing the, dissolving of that, which is very purging, it's very liberating, and it's going to allow you more um, capability to create and to move in the right direction of where you need to be in your life. So, what does transitioning worlds mean? You know, it could be shifting perspectives, evolving identities, or moving into new life phases. So when we're shifting, transitioning worlds, I think there's a lot of buzz going on about third dimensional reality and fifth dimensional reality. And it is where third dimensional reality is where Earth has been um, involved for a long, 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 tens of thousands of years in that paradigm where it's all about ego, where it's all about control, abuse of power, trying to figure things out. There's a lot of corruption with that. It's all about, it's egocentric versus where fifth dimensional is, where it is more of unconditional love and acceptance. It's more of the we community type of process. And what we're witnessing is the contrast between the two. And it is what we're witnessing is that I want to say, the demise of the third dimensional reality. Okay. Um, when people are in resistance to change, and instead of flowing with it, this is where we we tend to have a tendency to put the brakes on because we're trying to control what had been. One thing we have to remember is that everything is constantly evolving and changing. Yes, that third dimensional reality maybe worked for a while, but we are ascending as a collective, for our humanity's sake, and we're vibrating at a higher frequency than what that third dimensional reality is. So for those people who have awakened and are on their spiritual path, um, they're realizing that what had been before is no longer in alignment with where they are going. And I believe more and more people are going to be awakening as they realize that the third dimensional reality of what we're witnessing externally is on its I say it's on its last legs. It's almost as if whatever is left is scurrying and knowing that it's over on some level, and yet they're trying to keep it and control it, to keep it stuck there. And it's like they're jockeying for what power and position is there. But the big cosmic joke is that this is going away. And you could kick and scream and go, dragging your feet, yet we are moving to a different direction. And it's more of an energetic shift than it is more of a physical shift. That's what I really want to drive home. So the more awake that you are, I believe, and the more that you're able to go with the flow of what is happening, even though you're being uber triggered right now, the better off you will be. Okay. I know for me, there's a lot of things that have pushed my buttons as of late, and it's been an excavational and archaeological dig within myself to look at why that is so. And what I'm finding is that the old patterns that have been part of my life for my entire lifetime, and maybe some past life hangovers that are carrying over from another place in time are no longer, these things are no longer aligned with where I am going. And by just sitting with it, I'm allowing it to dissolve itself. That's simple. And it's dissolving quickly. So, yes, I'm highly entertained by what is happening out in the external world right now. I feel that one of the best things that I could tell people to do in order to move through this process is to just be in observe mode. Pretty much sit in your lounge chair, eat your popcorn, and look and watch the show, because there is nothing that many of us need to do. We just need to witness and observe and not get caught up into the drama of what is unfolding, because it is a lot of drama. And I believe that this is the chaos before the big shift that we will be experiencing in a very positive way. So it's really, I think, and I know that this is true by just what I just shared with you, it's really about all those things that are triggering us. So pay big attention to that, because how we could adjust this is not going into react mode, but going into reflect and observe mode, and just allow that stuff to dissolve right before our eyes. So letting go with grace and ease is another thing. When we do that, we are identifying no things that are no longer serving us. And I have another word for that, that's no longer aligned with who we are energetically. Because when maybe at a time and a place, this was aligned with us energetically. And that was in, another time and place, maybe in our past. But yet that past has a vibration set with itself. And when we are working on ourselves and evolving and growing, we're vibrating at a higher frequency. And this other thing is down here and we're up here. And, energetically, it's a mismatch. Why would you want to hang on to something that's no longer energetically aligned with who you are right in this current moment? So, this is where you see maybe relationships, habits, our beliefs, maybe even our work transitioning and changing. When we release the old, we leave a space, a void, for the new to come in that's more aligned with who we are in this present moment as we are moving forward. So, you know, if you have a challenge with change or any type of change, uncertainty, things of that matter, I just invite you right now to lean into that as to why, and really, you know, figure out, is it a fear thing? Is it, you're just stuck, you're bored, you don't know what to do, you're afraid to move forward, you're just stuck. Look at why you are stuck, because oftentimes we are stuck enough that we hit a wall. And I know in working with a lot of my clients and stuff, I always know that they're on the cusp of something when they pretty much hit a wall and it seems like they can't break through anything and they're getting uber frustrated. This is when the gift really happens. So don't give up, keep plugging along, and just know that you are going to do the right thing as you move forward. And the right and more aligned things are going to be there for you because you're vibrating at a higher frequency. So, navigating change with confidence. It's so important, I feel, to learn how to trust that innate wisdom that we have within ourselves. This is our intuition, our higher source, our chi body, whatever that is, it's all the same. It's our intuition, it's our wisdom, our innate wisdom that comes through. Yet we have to cultivate that relationship within ourselves. It just doesn't happen. I mean, it can happen, yet I feel that many people are so distracted from this aspect of themselves that it could be yelling at them and they still wouldn't hear what is being said because they're so disconnected from their body. They're in their head and they're not in their physical body. And being in your physical body is essential to being able to learn how to trust yourself. So for those people who have a challenge being in your body, I invite you to go to my website, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, and there's going to be a pop-up, and you could sign up for a free guided meditation to be in the present moment. It's about 5 minutes and it's very easy to follow, and you will really feel what it feels like to be fully present right here, right now in your body. This is where you're able to hear and listen to your intuition and your inner guidance. So, really, really important right now, especially in the times that we are maneuvering through. It's about coming within yourself to have a relationship with yourself so that you could be more certain within yourself when there's a uber shit show going on externally. Okay, this is about you standing your ground and stepping into your power, and this is how you do that. When you shift your fear from, shifting your perspective from fear to empowerment, you gain confidence. Okay, you gain confidence within yourself. You're learning how to trust your intuitive abilities, and you're also able to have more discernment, but also to recognize and to see the opportunities that are coming, towards you, and allowing yourself to receive those. It's like that filter that has been blocking that is gone. And when we step into our power and create what, that certainty within ourselves, manifestation continues to happen in a positive way. We're always, let me rephrase that. We're always manifesting in our world. And if you have any doubt in it, look at where you're sitting and what's around you. You've basically created that whole thing. And that's the physical stuff, but also the emotional, mental, and spiritual stuff you've also created too, based on what your intention is, whether it's a positive intention or negative intention. The mind doesn't know any different. When we are able to intend and set an intention, the manifestation is going to happen rather quickly. So be really aware of the seeds that you are planting in your the garden of your mind, because these are things that you're going to be creating for yourself. So just remember, just trust yourself and learn how to, face your whatever the dilemmas are. Instead of wanting to hide and run away from them, sometimes you just lean in and just take a step into that. And sometimes it's not as bad as you think. And to do that with a very discerning and observant and witnessing versus reactive. The other thing that I think you need to remember too. Oh, I have to go on a break. I'm sorry, Danielle. Okay, well, we're on the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And I'm sorry, we got sidetracked talking about transitioning worlds, navigating change with grace. So when we come back, we'll talk more about that.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back, everybody. You're listening to another episode on the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, and we're on the Inspired Choices Network. And today on our episode, we are talking about transitioning worlds, navigating change with grace. And before we went on break, I really did a long dissertation on the whole thing about about change and being able to trust your intuition and to be fully present. And God only knows there's so much change going on in our reality and how we respond to that. So what we're going to talk about now is resisting change versus flowing with it. So, how many of you out there, when something comes up and there's a change happening, you're just so dug in, you're like a toddler going into a tantrum, crossing your arms and digging your heels in. Well, you know what? I have a tendency to do that at times too, instead of just allowing it to be what it is. Now, I feel that when you and I or we resist change, a lot of times we are holding on to the past, maybe clinging to old identities, relationships, routines that we have grown comfortable with, so it's like that's why change feels so uncomfortable because it takes us out of the status quo. And what if the status quo that you've just allowed yourself to become bored with your life because it's just the status quo, and you could go on autopilot and not really have to show up in your life. So it keeps you, I kind of think that keeps you kind of flat. So why do we resist change? We hold on to the past. A lot of times we fear the unknown. It's like some of us think, oh my God, Pandora's box. No, I want to keep a lid on that because gosh darn it, if I open that, it's just like the world's never going to be the same, and I'm not going to be able to handle what's going on and control my world. So fearing the unknown, it's worrying about what's next and whether we are capable of handling it. I want to give you guys some encouragement. You are able to handle it. You're a lot more resilient than you think. Yes, change can be scary and it also could be exciting. Okay. So look at it from that perspective that, okay, this is going to be exciting. Let's see what it brings, and be curious, and um, and just be spontaneous, because maybe this is happening for you, not to you. Like I talked about a little bit in the last segment, that, sometimes when we're energetically no longer aligned with things, they have a tendency to fall away. And we just hang on clinging to that, as if, no, 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 don't leave, don't leave. That maybe this would be the best thing that could ever happen to us, because we have outgrown energetically either that relationship, that job, or whatever situation you're transitioning through. And it's time to create a void for what is next for us, that's aligned more so with where we're going. Sometimes we feel like we're going to have a loss of control. Well, change is about, you know, you know, I don't know how to say this, but we feel like we're going to lose control. Well, you know what? That's okay. Lose control. I think you'll be rather surprised. You're going to land on your feet more so than you give yourself credit for. And remember what I was saying too, it's life is happening for us, not to us. So if you keep that in mind, that it's easier to step into um, going through that doorway, through the threshold of the next adventure, which sometimes is unknown. We can't see it. Well, and sometimes we doubt ourselves too. We have issues about wondering if we're being ready, worthy, or equipped for what's coming. I feel that you are more resilient than you give yourself credit for. You're more worthy than you give yourself credit for. And, this is happening for you, not to you. When you embrace that, it's a whole different animal. Some of the signs you're resisting change are: you might feel you're stuck, frustrated, or anxious about a situation. The same repeating patterns keep happening, and you expect a different result. It's just like you keep doing the same thing over and over again, and nothing's changed. And sometimes, another thing that you're resisting change, another thing would be you're over analyzing decisions. And a lot of times we all do this. We look for validation outside of ourselves. So I invite you to take what is said to you externally with a grain of salt, and definitely step within yourself and just sit with what you're experiencing and that resistance, and to why that is. And resistance to change, it's like our body goes on constrict mode, like what? And it's just like your sphincter muscles tighten up, and we have a lot of stress when that happens, and fatigue, and because you're trying to control something, that maybe it's time to relinquish the control and allow it to move to our next adventure. So what does it mean to flow with change? It's about trusting the process, staying present, be in the moment, right here, right now. Don't focus on the past. Don't obsess about the future. It's about being adaptable and remaining open to new possibilities, even when they don't look like what you expected. I think many of us have the blinders on, thinking that something has to look a certain way. And when we step into uncertainty with grace, and and with change with grace, you're being more adaptable, and you're open to possibilities. And most importantly, trust and listen to your intuition. And this is a way of coming to peace within yourself. So, just a couple more things before we head off on our break. Um, you know, so how do we shift from resistance to flow? You know what? Acknowledge your resistance, and just, reframe your perspective. Uh, See this as a possibility for the future, but also release your control and take baby steps. And like I said, most importantly, just trust yourself. We give our trust away to things outside of ourselves. And I want to know for you, how is that working out for you? Something to ponder. I think when you're able to trust yourself, it doesn't matter what's happening on the outside. You're able to know that this is the right thing for you, no matter what's going on out there. So you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show, and we're going to segue onto our next break. And we've been talking about transitioning worlds, navigating change with grace. And when we come back, we're going to put this all together in a guided meditation for you. And so, see you when we come back from our break.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
Well, welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network, and I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And on today's show, we've been talking about transitioning worlds and navigating change with grace and ease. And boy, we have had a lot of change happening in our world. And for those of us who are in the USA, we know for sure firsthand, but I know I've talked to other people around the world, and the changes are happening for them as well too. So everybody buckle up, because it's about us coming back to ourselves, to allow ourselves to change with grace and ease. So, before we go into our guided meditation, I just want to talk more about, you hear about the infomercial in between our segments, and I have a platform, and it's a monthly group membership for people who are on their spiritual journey, who are awakening. It's called I'm Awake Now What? And with myself and my partner, Cozy Stankitis, we put together a platform that allows you to come and share what's going on with you, get support, get healing, get tools, resources, and also community. Every week we hop on a live Zoom link and it's recorded, and we talk about what's up in the world, and how it's affecting people and how it's affecting people who are awakening. So please, if that resonates with you, come and join us. We would love to have you. And you could go find out more information. Go to my website, drdoloresfazzino.com, and there is a bar that says I'm awake now what. Just click on that and it'll share more information about our platform. So with that being said, we are going to launch into a guided meditation called Flowing Through Change with Grace. So I just invite you to find a quiet and comfortable place where you won't be disturbed. You may sit or lie down in a relaxed position and allowing your body to settle. Now gently close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath in through your nose and release it through your mouth. Again, inhale deeply, filling your belly with breath, and exhale, letting go of any tension. With each breath, allow yourself to arrive fully in this moment. Now, bring your awareness to your body. Feel the support beneath you, whether it's the chair, the floor, or the bed. And just imagine roots gently extending from the base of your spine, grounding you firmly into the earth. With each inhale, feel yourself becoming steadier, more anchored, more present. With each exhale, allow any tension or worry to melt away. You are here. You are safe. There is nothing to do. Now, gently bring to mind a change you are experiencing. It may be a big or small, expected or unexpected one. And notice any emotions that arise, possibly uncertainty, fear, hesitation. And without judgment, simply acknowledge them. Imagine these feelings as waves in the ocean, rising, cresting, and then dissolving. They are not you. They are just passing through. You do not have to hold on to them. Simply observe, knowing they will shift and change just like the waves. Now, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, imagine a soft golden light surrounding you. This light is warm and comforting, representing trust, flow, and ease. With each breath, allow this light to dissolve any resistance, any fear, and any uncertainty. And feel them melting away like mist evaporating in the morning sun. And repeat silently or aloud the following. I trust the process of life. I trust the process of life. I trust the process of life. I release what no longer serves me. I release what no longer serves me. I release what no longer serves me. I allow myself to flow with ease and grace. I allow myself to flow with ease and grace. I allow myself to flow with ease and grace. Let these words sink into your being, filling you with a deep sense of peace. Now, imagine yourself standing at the edge of a peaceful, flowing river. This river represents change, always moving, always carrying you forward. Step gently into the water. Feel its cool, soothing embrace. As you float effortlessly, you realize you are safe. You are supported. There is nothing to force, nothing to resist. You are exactly where you need to be. Breathe in this sense of trust. Breathe in possibility. And breathe out any last remnants of fear and allow them to dissolve. Slowly bring your awareness back to your body. Feel the surface beneath you. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Take one final deep breath in and release it fully. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Carry this sense of trust and flow with you as you move forward in your day. You are safe. You are supported. You are flowing effortlessly with change. Welcome back, everybody. And we're going to go on our final break. You've been listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we'll see you after the break.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network, and I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we've been talking a lot today about transitioning worlds, navigating change with grace. And, we are in very interesting times in our humanity's ascension. And I find that how we could really step into where we are going after all of this debacle kind of falls away is to really come to ourselves and have a really solid relationship within ourselves. Because when that happens, we become unstoppable within ourselves, and that essence reflects out into the universe. And this is a time when you are able to know that whatever is happening within you is the certainty in an uncertain world on the external. So I pulled a couple of cards today. I've been doing that a lot lately. There's a deck called The Healing Energy Oracle by Mario Duguay, so I want to give him credit for this. And I love this card that says self-love. I attend to my needs by listening to my heart. My inner essence lets me know what is good for me. I respect my limits. I answer the request of my body and soul. Thus, I learn to love myself. And we could also say trust ourselves as well. So let's just recap what we talked about today. We talked about change quite a bit, lots of change in our world. Change is an invitation to grow. When you're able to look at it from that perspective, you become teachable, and you're able to go with the more the flow that is there for us in our life instead of resisting what is wanting to come to you. Remember, every transition, whether personal, professional, or spiritual, is an opportunity to evolve and step into a higher version of yourself. So remember, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. Resistance creates struggle, flow creates ease. So, for those of us who are awake and know that we have a tendency to resist to things, sometimes this resistance is an unconscious thing that keeps a pattern that keeps happening and happening. And it's time to allow that to dissolve. When we fight change, we create tension and fear. And who wants more of that in our bodies? Because that's what suffers your body and your mind and your soul. By surrendering and trusting the process, we allow life to unfold naturally. And it's about, I love the comment that somebody made, uh, tell God your plans. And you don't want to see God laugh, just tell God your plans, because um, we have blinders on and we don't see the infinite possibilities. We see maybe one or two possibilities for an end result. So when we are able to be in the flow of things, we get to see infinite possibilities. Letting go is necessary for a new to arrive. So very true. And when we hang on to something so tight, it's going to, it doesn't keep it, it may temporarily keep it there longer, but it keeps us stuck. And the universe is evolving and changing, and so are we. And when our energy continues to be at a higher frequency and it's no longer in alignment with what is trying to release from us, and we try to hang on to it, eventually, we will eventually move on to the next thing. It's just going to take a little longer. So let go. Inner trust is the key to navigating uncertainty. Yes, it is. If you are able to become more certain within yourself, I believe you're unstoppable. And it doesn't matter what is going on in the external. We've been duped into believing that the external has all the answers and knows what's best for us. I call bullshit on that, because we've been programmed to believe that is true. Yet, what is essential is us coming within ourselves, having a relationship with ourselves, being able to listen to that inner wisdom that's within ourselves so that we can make the right decisions for ourselves, not anybody else around us, not society, not our spouses, not our kids, not, whatever. It's for us. And it may not be popular with what they are, but it's the right thing for you. Know you are always supported, whether through inner wisdom or divine guidance or the people around you. You are never alone on your journey. And that is so true. And I got to sneeze. Bless me. So, yes, you are supported more than you know. And if you ever doubt that, go out in nature and observe nature. The animals are always supported and they just know and trust. Okay. So, just some closing thoughts. Change is an inevitable part of life, but how we approach it makes all the difference. When we embrace transitions with trust rather than fear, we move through them with grace and ease. Remember, life is always guiding you towards something greater. Allow yourself to flow with it rather than resist it. So take a moment today to reflect, where am I resisting change? How can I invite more trust and flow into my life? You are stronger than you think. You are ready for this next chapter, and most importantly, you are never alone. So I want to leave you with this quote by Viktor Frankl. And he says, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. So continue to carry on and embrace change. Now, next week on the Dr. Dolores Show, we're going to talk more about moving from third dimensional to fifth dimensional consciousness and expanding our consciousness. So there's a lot of talk about, the new earth, the 3D and 5D. So I invite you next week to listen more and join us on our next episode. And, I just want to reiterate that we are all doing a good job. You're doing an amazing job. You're more resilient than you know. And remember that change is inevitable. The only certainty that you're going to have is a certainty within yourself. So just know that you are worth it. See you next week.
Thank you for listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. Dr. Dolores returns Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Until then, remember to be kind to yourself and create your best life. You are worth it.